Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our guitar pop-up card. I've got all my pieces cut out in front of me, as should you. So we're going to begin with the card base. I've got it pre-folded here. And you're going to grab the main pieces of the guitar for the front of the card. It's made up of the solid brown and the patterned paper, which you can see here we found a nice wooden texture to go on top of that. So we're gonna take the main wooden piece and apply your glue, and we'll get that into place. Just go easy on the glue. And pop that right onto the solid brown piece, just matching up the holes. Should fit on there perfectly. Press that down. Next, we're going to take the white part of the bridge, apply your glue, and just pop it into that little cutout there. It should fit like a little puzzle. Press that down and just make sure that it's sitting nice and flat. And then we'll take the brown part of the bridge, put a little bit of glue on that, and put that right on top of the white layer. Just try to match it up as accurately as you can. And there we go. Next, we're going to glue down this little section here, which includes the little pick guard. And I wanted to add this because obviously this is not all acoustic guitars have them, but if you are familiar with Willie Nelson, he actually plays a classical guitar without a pick guard. There's a giant hole right where that pick guard is. So just match that up with the little circle there in the center. Press that down, make sure it's flush at the top. And there we go. Always good to have a pick guard. Next, you're going to take the brown section here, and you can tell that I did spend some time inking the various pieces here just to create a little bit more interest. And that's going to go on. You want to just make sure that you align the inside part of the circle of this piece with the actual circle on the guitar. So use that as your guide for placement. You'll end up with a little bit of a black border around the sound hole. Just like that. And then next, you're going to take this white piece and glue that down. Just going to match it up with the existing notches on that brown layer just below it. And then press that down. And then there are 4 pieces that make up the little fretboard. The first one obviously has little notches, so you want to match that one up with the notches up at the top. And then the remaining 3, they're not perfectly rectangular. They're more of a trapezoid, and they get thinner as you work your way up. So place them next to each other and figure out which one's the longest, which one's the second longest, which one's the shortest. You want the shortest one up at the top, the longest one down at the bottom, and they should be angled up. Okay, so just kind of making sure that I'm getting the right one in the right place. Okay, that top one seems to be the longest. And there we go. So I'll take the longest one, apply some glue, make sure that the shorter section is up at the top. That was a close one. And pop that into place, should be flush at the bottom. And then there are 2 score marks on that white piece for the other 2 to help you with the placement. You're going to use that to align the top edge of each of the remaining pieces with the score mark. So apply your glue. Nice and easy. Line it up with the top. The top edge of this piece should match up with that score mark. And then we have one more. And that's just going to go right there, aligned with the top of the score mark to create our little fretboard. Okay, so the caption, we have it here. We're going to take this brown layer and glue it to the white layer. Like so. Like I said, the bonus ones are all print and cuts. They're not, you don't cut them out, so you are going to have to use your print and cut feature for that. Okay, go ahead and now when you're putting this down, you need to make sure that you're matching it up with the little cutouts on here. Okay, so like this one here, that's for the O, that's for the O, and that's for the R. So just make sure that those are positioned correctly, just like that. And that way we don't have to sit there and try to apply all these little letters one at a time. This can be foam squared if you want. And I think we have, no, we didn't, we omitted it. But you're just gonna pop it right on there like that. I'll leave that alone for now. And what we can do real quick here is take a look at our strings. I need to get some scissors out. And I was going to use hot glue, but I think that might get too messy. So I'm just going to use regular glue and just be very sparse with it. We just need just enough. I'm going to cut it a little bit longer than I need to, but we're going to glue it here first. Okay, and this is kind of unraveling a little bit. I'm going to glue it here first and hold it, and then you can see here we have that those little spacers there, and that's going to kind of, we're going to glue it to the back. It's going to go over, but let's glue it to the little, where the little pegs are going to go first. So I'll just throw a little dot of glue right in the center of that. Okay, and take your string, and like I said, if you want to try it with hot glue, you can. I'm just worried that it's going to be messy. So just pop it right on there, let it sit, and let it dry. Just move that out of the way for now. Just pop it right into the glue. Okay, I'm going to repeat that 6 times, obviously, because it's a 6-string guitar, as most of them are. I've seen some that have more, but I would call this pretty traditional. I'm just taking the tip of my scissor and just pushing it into that glue. Okay, and just leave it sit for a few minutes until that glue is definitely 100% set. Try not to move it too much. Like I just did. Yeah, I think hot glue might be the way to go, but I'm going to try it without it. Should work. Just make sure it's in there nicely. You get the idea, and then I would not start wrapping it up here until we have all 6 strings in there and they're all nice and cured as far as the glue goes. Okay, you don't want to get too excited and start doing anything until we're sure that it's all nice and set. Oh, we go. Doing surgery here. And if this doesn't work, I will end up using hot glue, and it'll be a little messy, but I'm going to take some pearls and actually put them on top of the strings here, because you'll have little pegs on a guitar to keep the strings in place, so it'll look nice. And I would, if you're using regular glue, I'm actually testing this out for the first time with regular glue, so I'm going to leave it alone for a little while and see if it even works. Okay, so I have all 6 there. I am literally just going to let this sit until that glue is cured completely, so that we can take a look and see how well it's holding up. So the little dot of regular glue worked perfectly. Now, obviously you don't want to come at the strings and start tugging at them super hard, but should be totally fine. And then what we're going to do is begin, and you can see these little notches that we cut in here. They're really going to help kind of space these apart and keep them in the correct spot. So I did get the hot glue gun out, and just take that first one, stretch it, and just hit it with a little bit of hot glue right on the back. Again, no one's going to see the back of this, so if it gets a little messy, not a big deal. Okay, grab the next one. Use that little notch as your guide. Pull it taut. And just coat it. Make sure that you're getting the string coated and that you're also making good contact with the cardstock. And my glue gun is not warmed up properly, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with it, but it'll work. Grab the next string, just be gentle. Pull it over. Hold it nice and taut. I love glue guns. Just kidding. Okay. If you need to kind of push at it a little bit, that's fine. And you gotta wait until that glue is somewhat set before you let it go. And then we'll just trim off the excess here. Boy, that looks really well done, doesn't it? It's okay. There we go. Grab the next one, bring it up right over that little notch. It was a good little idea to add that. And you can go a little heavier with the glue, not a big deal. Again, no one's gonna see this part, and we're gonna use some foam squares to add some dimension to this part. Okay, be patient. Patience, patience, patience. There we go. A couple more. And that looks really nice. Nice and pristine. Now, if only we can get these to actually play. I'll leave it to one of you guys to do that. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm just kidding. I'm not sure that would work, but if there's ever a challenge, there's one for you. Okay, keep holding that in place. Give that a second to set. Usually hot glue sets a lot quicker than that. There we go. And the last one. Bring it over, hold it nice and taut. Bring it down, just kind of holding it with my other finger. And add your glue. There we go. And I suppose while we're holding that down, take and trim those off. Just so they're not showing through the sound hole. Don't worry about that mess on the back. And just be patient with that last one. And look at that. That looks beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So again, the front one, You can see what happens with the hot glue. I would just very carefully use regular glue on the front and then just kind of cement it down with the hot glue on the back. Oh boy, oh, there goes one. Okay, so we have the little guy here, and you can see how I've started layering it partially. We'll get this is the wood pattern. Okay, so you're going to start off with the wood pattern. Get that glued down onto the black layer. And I'm not overly concerned about making sure that I get glue on every single little inch of this. We can always go in and paint a little bit of glue in any area that might need it. But do your best to get that aligned as accurately as possible, obviously. There we go. Okay, press that down. Wonderful. Okay, next we're going to put down the black layer. That's going to go here. Oops. Okay. And use the neck and the head as kind of a guide. And obviously it should fit perfectly around the sound hole as well. There we go. Press that into place. Okay. Next we're going to put down this brown layer. And that gives the sound hole sort of a two-toned look. And gives the neck a nice wooden color as well. I would, if you got glue up there, dab that so it doesn't come peeking through the little holes where the strings would be. Now we tried to extend the strings all the way to the top here, but it was so thin and so small that we just left it off because it was kind of a disaster trying to cut little strings that were so small. So you're not going to have them going all the way up, but it's okay. Still, again, this is stylized. It's not supposed to be, obviously, a functional guitar. Okay, we've got one more piece here, and this one's going to go, this is the little fretboard part. Nice and easy. Thin that out if necessary. And start it right about there. There we go. Press that into place. That looks nice. And then finally our little strings. Those are going to go all the way down. Well, we need to put the bridge down first. And there should be a little marker here, and here, to help you with the positioning of this little bridge. I think it's called the bridge. Okay, when you're gluing this part down, just make sure that this little round part is facing down. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to begin with the strings by just maybe gluing down the first two little sections. Okay, so let's just get those anchored right at the top of the fretboard. Nice and flush right there. Same with the second section. Okay, there we go. And then what we can do is just kind of hold it there, peel this back, and then just very gently add a little bit of glue. I'm mostly keeping the glue right on the little fret separators. And then what I'll do is I'll use my finger to kind of spread it along the strings. You don't need a lot of glue on that. And it's probably better if we go less is more, I guess, that sort of thing. and then just bring it down to the very end. And there we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right, so now all that's left to do here, and I wanted to put this inside the actual card before we do anything with the front. Okay. So this is going to get glued right here, like so, obviously. So you can go ahead and put glue on this entire surface, all the way up the fretboard. And you don't want to put any glue on these little pop-up mechanisms. And that's going to be flush up against the card. You want to make sure that when we get this on here, that it is able to fold closed. Okay, so it's going to close. It's going to open and close like this. Just make sure that it's capable of doing that, and it is. Okay. Wonderful. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take the card base. You can see how this is going to fit in here. It's going to go like this. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over, and we're going to apply glue just to this surface here. Okay, you don't want to put glue on the actual guitar because that mechanism needs to move freely. Go ahead and work the perimeter. That's going to be the most important. And right up to the score mark. Put some here, a little bit around the musical notes, like so. Okay, and then you could literally take this. This side has no glue on it. Make sure it's centered. Push it as far as it'll go. Okay, and then just press it up against the card base. Give that a little push, and then just make sure it closes. Okay, we're going to flip it over, push down from the other side. There we go. And voila. Okay. Had a little bit of glue shoot out right here. We'll clean that up. It's okay. All right, now I'm going to take and apply glue to the other half. Work that perimeter first. Okay, and then literally just close it and push down while it's closed, and then give it open it up, make sure it opens and closes. Perfect. There you go. You got plenty of room here to do your writing, whatever it is you want to add. And that looks great. So now inside here, we have just two little red stars to kind of fill in these little areas. So go ahead and get your glue on that. And pop that right into place. Like so. And then we have a tiny little guy for the tinier star. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's that. And then all that's left to do, now this thing should be pretty dry at this point. And let's go ahead and apply and add our foam squares. I'm going to do the corners, and then we'll bring it in a little bit in the middle, and just give it a little push test. Yeah, I'm going to be generous with my foam squares on this one. Put one there, and put one there, and then maybe a couple in the middle here, like so. And that's just going to go right onto the front of the card. Again, don't worry about that mess there. No one's going to see it unless they pull it apart or really start digging. I've definitely had better days when it comes to putting things together. But again, hot glue is like my nemesis, so there we go. Pop that right on there. There we go. Beautiful. And like you said, you can't, even if you look down there, it's on a black cardstock, you can't really see it. And then all that's left to do now is take your caption, and we'll add some foam squares to that, give it a little bit of dimension as well. Okay. And that's just going to go right on the front here, like so. And that's it. Now remember, we're including some bonus print and cut captions with some various captions on there, but this is a beautiful card. And of course, no Dreaming Tree card would be complete without an envelope. Okay, so got the main part of the envelope here. I'm going to take this other part of the top flap, and we can begin applying glue to this white part here. Okay, careful around those cutouts. Grab this piece, I want my texture side facing away from me, and we'll take it and slide it right up to that fold. And then bring it down. And I'm a little off. Did not get it centered. So hopefully that doesn't bite me. Try that again. Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. And that's fine. Just wasn't paying attention, so don't do that. Pay attention. That's why we're here. Okay. All right, so then we have our, what is it, the treble clef, I think it's called. I took some music theory. That didn't go well. Excuse me. I'll just throw a few little dots onto this piece. And we have some little markers here to help you with the positioning of this one. And I need to figure out, pardon my head. There it goes, just like that. Okay, and then, oh, what is this? Half note, quarter note, I don't know what this is. I read guitar tab, I don't read music. I tried that. And that didn't go well either. But lucky for you, didn't need that. I was always meant to do this, at least for a little while. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna bring these two in, and just a little bit of glue right along the inside flaps. And then press that down. And there we go. Okay, so there's our beautiful coordinating envelope to go along with our super cool pop-up card. And that's gonna do it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our on our YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button while you're there. There's a little bell you can click on to get notifications. Anytime we release a new video, great way to keep in touch with us. And if you make this or anything from our latest bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 46,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. Oh, and by the way, I forgot one thing here. Right here, where the strings are, I'm going to use some little pearls to cover up the strings. It'll look like those little, I don't know what they're called again. Guitar Anatomy, failed that. Little pegs, yeah, I think they're pegs that hold the strings in place when you're putting new strings on. So just a few little pearls. I'm going to go with pearls, not rhinestones. I don't think rhinestones are appropriate. You could, but I think they would look too blingy. We just want them to kind of have that peg aesthetic. So that's going to do it. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys had a great time. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.